Ladies and gentlemen, we're finally here. Welcome to my WrestleMania 41 match card predictions. If you've been a long-time viewer of the channel, you'll know that I've been trying to predict the WrestleMania 41 match card as far out as 12 months in advance. But now that WrestleMania 41 is around the corner, now that there are no more pit stops between now and WrestleMania 41, it's time to put up and shut up and give you my official final WrestleMania 41 match card predictions. And I've come up with a total of 18 matches, including matches that have already been announced, plus, of course, matches that I'm trying to fantasy book. We'll go through all of these matches and why I think they make sense to be on the biggest show of them all. And then, once we're closer to WrestleMania 41, once the entire match card is officially revealed, we will go back not just to this video, but all of the other WrestleMania 41 predictions that I've made over the past 12 months to see how good or how bad my predictions were. By the way, don't forget, if you're looking for my nearly 1 hour review of Elimination Chamber and the John Cena heel turn, it's already up and available on patreon.com/SantiZap with footage so you can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about on a frame-by-frame basis. I can't upload that here because it would just get immediately blocked because of copyright by YouTube. So go check it out. Link in the description or a link in the pinned comment for you. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know that you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. I can't believe we're here, man. It's been a long time coming. Let's jump into it. Let's start things off by talking about the matches that have already been confirmed for WrestleMania 41. Starting off with the Royal Rumble winner, it still feels weird to say that, Jey Uso going up against the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Here's the thing, now that the smoke has settled from the insane night that was Elimination Chamber Toronto, I can say with confidence that there are several matches that deserve to main event night one above Jey Uso versus Gunther. These are other matches that just have, in my opinion, more main event worthy star power going into the show, and Jey Uso and Gunther, in my opinion, haven't done a good enough job of telling a good enough story to make me want to see this as the night one main event. It's possible that within the next 40 something days that could change, but as of the making of this video, I just don't see this as main event night one worthy yet. The other match that's been confirmed, which is just so insane that I'm about to say what I'm about to say, is Undisputed Champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, defending his WWE Undisputed Champion against a heel John Cena. What timeline is this? Listen, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes was always a possibility. It was always on the table. John Cena went into the Elimination Chamber, for God's sakes, as the Las Vegas odds-on favorite to win the whole thing. I just don't think that any of us had any sort of inclination that he was going to go into WrestleMania as the biggest bad guy that the WWE has. This changes everything, not just about WrestleMania, but about John Cena's entire retirement tour. I can no longer see John Cena putting over new up-and-comers and mid-carders to make them look good on his way out. I think this guy's going to be a dominant fiend, and he's probably going to win at WrestleMania. You thought it was weird to try and get used to saying Royal Rumble winner Jey Uso? Just try and get around to getting used to heel John Cena. It just feels wrong in every way, shape, and form. One of the things that is possible, not just like within this match, but it's possible that they might set up another match that leads into this match at night one of WrestleMania involving Travis Scott. I didn't fantasy book anything with Travis Scott in this video. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind because apparently there are rumors that Travis Scott has been getting in-ring ready, kind of like Bad Bunny did going into his WrestleMania debut match at Mania 37. But yeah, this is obviously the night two main event. This match is going to have it all. It's going to have appearances from The Rock, Travis Scott. I wouldn't be surprised if we have Randy Orton getting involved, considering his history with both John Cena and Cody Rhodes. This thing is a moment in time that I'm just excited that we're all going to get to experience together. Heel John Cena, bro. What the hell? Next up, the other match that's been confirmed for quite some time, that is Charlotte Flair, the Royal Rumble winner. That feels a little bit more natural to say than the Royal Rumble winner Jey Uso, going up against and challenging Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. I said this before and I'll say it again. I don't believe that the WWE is doing the greatest job at making me believe that Tiffany Stratton actually has a chance against Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair just looks like she is invincible, and WWE hasn't exactly done the greatest of bookings for Tiffany Stratton in Elimination Chamber and prior to Elimination Chamber to make her feel like a legitimate threat to Charlotte Flair. And it's kind of crazy that the champion champion is going into this as one of the biggest underdogs that I've ever seen. Like I've always said, death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning everything upon her return. I really just have a hard time seeing a world where Tiffany Stratton retains here. But hey, this isn't a match predictions video. I'm just predicting the match card. This one's already been announced. We already know about it. So hopefully WWE does a bit of a better job over the next month and a bit to try and make me believe that Tiffany Stratton actually has a chance against this monster that is Charlotte Flair in the women's division at WrestleMania. Another one of the matches that's not confirmed, but in my opinion, it pretty much is all but confirmed as of the making of this video, is Rhea Ripley going in as the women's world champion, going up against Bianca Belair. I know that as of the making of this video, there is still a match between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, but I don't think anybody believes that Io Sky is going to be winning this. I just don't think that Io Sky is going to go into WrestleMania as the champion. I think that there is maybe a slight possibility that it ends in shenanigans and Io gets added into this match as a triple threat. But in my opinion, the big money match that so many people have been wanting for a long time is right there. Just don't taint it with anything else. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair is the match to do. It is the biggest match available on the table right now in the women's division. This is a match that has enough star power to main event night one over Jey Uso versus Gunther, in my opinion. It's kind of nuts that this is a match considering that there was another dream match right there in front of Bianca Belair. It really was a spoil of riches. I do expect that storyline with Jade Cargill might seep into this storyline here, but we'll see how this storyline even kicks off over the next couple of days. But this is the 1A and 1B in terms of just overall popularity in the WWE, in terms of their fandom in the women's division. These two are so incredibly popular that it wasn't a matter of if they were going to have a WrestleMania match, it was always a matter of when. And I think it's kind of nuts that WWE pulled the trigger on this match sooner than many of us expected. Again, I'm talking a little bit hypothetical, but I feel like this match is like 95% confirmed at this point. Oh my God, Tony, put him out.
Jesus.
Dude, he can, oh my God. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. Yes.
Twice.
Oh, okay, that was gnarly. That, folks, was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, available exclusively on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at Penta versus Vampiro in a crazy Lucha Underground death match. Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy in the ultimate deletion in TNA. A genuinely perfect match between Mayu Iwatani and Syuri in Stardom in 2024. Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch at Payback 2023 in a steel cage match. And Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank 2016, including that Dean Ambrose cash-in. You're going to be getting this, plus the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, the currently ongoing Royal Rumble watch-alongs, the currently ongoing Undertaker WrestleMania match watch-alongs, and more. All of this is content that we can never upload here to YouTube because it would just get blocked because of copyright constraints. So I do encourage you to come try the Patreon out at least for 1 month because you're going to get so much more extra content, more content than I actually upload here on the YouTube page. So just come try it out for 1 month. Patreon.com/SantiZap, link in the description, link in the pinned comment. Let's get you back to the video. Now let's talk about another match that's got the star power to be a main event worthy match. We're looking at CM Punk, who I think is going to use his favor if WWE doesn't retcon and make us pretend like this favor was never even brought up in the first place, forcing himself into a triple threat that was originally a singles match. Again, this is just me fantasy booking even more, between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. I think that CM Punk is going to jimmy his way in there in some way, shape, or form because these guys all pretty much hate each other for different types of reasons. And the star power of this would be just absolutely insane. There is no title that needs to be involved for this match to be the closer of night one. Hell, if it wasn't because of Cody Rhodes versus heel John Cena, you might even want to consider this as closing night two. It wouldn't be the first time that Roman closes a WrestleMania without a title on the line. Look, we live in a universe where the Shield triple threat isn't possible, so this is the closest thing that we're going to be getting to the Shield triple threat. The history that these guys have dating as far back as to the creation of the Shield is just too mouth-watering to not do this match. On top of that, we had Seth cost both Roman Reigns and CM Punk their chances at going to the main event of WrestleMania. Seth taking out Roman Reigns, Punk eliminating both of them. There's just too much going around here for this match to not happen. We need this at Mania. WrestleMania. Another one of the matches that I think is a pretty obvious one on the table that I'm pretty confident WWE is going to do, it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. This has to happen. We just had Randy Orton come back to confront Kevin Owens at the end of the unsanctioned match at Elimination Chamber. To me, the natural conclusion here, considering this storyline has been going on since early November, where Kevin Owens tried to break Randy Orton's neck with a good old band pile driver, you have to pay this off at WrestleMania. And they're also teasing the return of the punt, which I can only foresee is going to happen at WrestleMania. Too many obvious things are already being presented to us for us to very easily predict Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. We've been predicting this on this channel for quite a while now. I don't think that this is anything out of the ordinary. Next up, let's talk about a match that was likely made at Elimination Chamber. We're talking about a guilty ass Naomi who got caught and got her ass beat by Jade Cargill before the Elimination Chamber match could even begin. Now, this feud has two nuances to it. There's who attacked Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill seems to believe that it was Naomi. And then the other nuance is that Jade Cargill cost Naomi a world championship opportunity at WrestleMania. So they both have reasons to want to fight each other and kill each other and go into WrestleMania and have a giant marquee matchup. I think that this is a really great idea if you want to just have your cake and eat it too. If you want to do Rhea versus Bianca Belair, I think that this is the next best available matchup for Jade Cargill because Naomi is going to make Jade Cargill look amazing. Naomi sold her ass off for Jade Cargill in that Chamber beatdown, and I think Naomi is going to give Jade Cargill her breakup performance match of her career, not just in wrestling, but like WWE and in the biggest stage possible. Let's stay with the women and let's talk about the women's mid-card titles. I think that we're going to be getting Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega. The women's division in the mid-card on SmackDown is thin, but the biggest player that was recently added to it was none other than the best ever, the best to ever start with the letter Z, Zelina Vega. The WWE, let's face it, just hasn't done a great job with the women's mid-card division. There just isn't many options on the table. I just hope that this is a good enough option for WWE to not leave off the women's mid-card championships from either Raw or SmackDown off of the WrestleMania card. I really believe that if you want to cement these things as important titles, you need to defend them at WrestleMania, and I think this is the best available option for Chelsea Green. Let me cook here for a second, all right? Let's talk about the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Right now, the champion is Lyra Valkyria. She's due to defend against Ivy Nile, a match that I think that she will defend in. For a while, I was predicting that we were going to get Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria at WrestleMania. It doesn't seem like Becky Lynch is going to be coming before WrestleMania. Maybe she comes back the night after WrestleMania. So let me just present a different idea. What if a feud that we thought was going to happen at WrestleMania in a singles match instead gets paid off here in a Women's Intercontinental Championship match? I'm talking Bayley versus Roxanne Perez. Boom. Let's make this a triple threat match. That way we find a good reason to make Bayley and Roxanne Perez continue their fight while also adding stakes and elevating Lyra Valkyria and the Intercontinental Championship in the process in a high profile match that includes two of the best up-and-comers right now who within themselves have a lot of history because of their time in NXT, but then also Bayley, one of the four horsewomen, a first ballot Hall of Famer, to help elevate the importance of the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I'd like to get your feedback about this match specifically in the comments. Let's round out all of the Women's Championship and let's look at the Women's Tag Team Championships. I think it's a shame that this is where they're going to have Liv Morgan because Liv Morgan has just been absolutely tearing the house down over the last couple of months with unbelievably good matches in the main event scene, but I think she's going to take these titles alongside Raquel Rodriguez and defend against Kairi Sane and Io Sky in what will probably be an absolutely fantastic match. But to me, this is a spoil of talent. To me, these two talented women in Liv Morgan and Io Sky should be doing bigger things, but I just don't think it's in the cards for them. But if anything, this is at the very least going to be a really good match. Another match that's been kind of getting teased at on Monday Night Raw has been Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. It's certainly a lot less of a appetizing and tantalizing feud for Sami Zayn compared to Kevin Owens going after a big fish in Randy Orton. But hey, look, at least it's something for both of these guys who, after everything has settled between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, it just sort of leaves Sami Zayn in a little bit of limbo. And this elevates Karrion Kross to having the biggest match of his entire career, in my opinion, in the WWE. So sure, why not? Let's make this happen. Let's look at some of the men's mid-card championships. Let's look look at Braun Breaker, there's actually several options for Braun Breaker. They've been kind of teasing two different routes for Braun Breaker to go. It's possible that one of those routes is a third route and it ends up being a triple threat match. I think that it's possible that it's AJ Styles, but I also think that it's possible that it's Finn Balor, and that is who I'm going to go with because Finn Balor is really good at making people look good. And right now, Braun Breaker could really benefit from having an awesome Intercontinental Championship match on a giant stage against somebody that's going to make him look amazing, and in the process make his championship reign look amazing and make the IC championship look amazing. I just see a world where this is just the best available option for Braun Breaker right now. Let's talk about another major matchup that could be made because Logan Paul, pretty much every WrestleMania, is able to pull a legend to go up and have a match against him, and I feel like they're going to do the same thing this year. I think that we could be getting Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. We've been getting these two guys having some interactions, not only at the Royal Rumble where AJ Styles was eliminated by Logan Paul, but also backstage in a great segment between Logan Paul and AJ Styles. The only thing that I think kind of has this up in the air is the fact that AJ Styles has this feud going on with Braun Breaker. I could see a world where they run AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker at one of the European Raws, only for Logan Paul to screw over AJ Styles, and that's how we set up AJ Styles versus Logan Paul and giving us room for Braun Breaker to go chase somebody else like a Finn Balor in this situation. I think that this gives us the best of both worlds for both the Intercontinental Championship and for AJ Styles and Logan Paul. Logan Paul needs to create a new feud because out of all of the men in the chamber, he's the only one that walked away without a surefire WrestleMania match, like basically set in stone for him. So they need to, if they're going to do AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, they need to start getting the ball rolling on this, but the ball has already been rolling a little bit. Speaking of matches that were created and teased at in the men's elimination chamber, one of them is one that I just have no interest in seeing. That is Drew McIntyre going up against Damian Priest. We've talked about this time and time again, that this just feels like such a major step down and downgrade for Drew McIntyre. I'm not saying that the match won't be good. I'm sure that it will be. We've seen these guys go at it before, and it was a good, meaty meat fest match, and it was really entertaining. But it just feels like Drew McIntyre should be going after bigger things. Drew McIntyre should be chasing championship. Drew McIntyre should be going after the likes of Roman Reigns, but instead, Drew McIntyre can't seem to stop getting rolled up, which is just so stupid, and it looks like the originally rumored match that everyone groaned at is likely going to happen. I think that we do get Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest going into WrestleMania. Looking at another mid-card championship, this one's a lot less clear, but it's also clear at the same time. It's clear because I can tell you who the players are, I just don't know how they're going to connect the dots. So rather than me putting any sort of actual brain matter into this, I'm just going to put them all together in a big old ladder match. It's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura versus Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight versus Big Jimmy Uso and Braun Strowman in a ladder match for the United States Championship. This would bang. I really think, like, just from a physical perspective, this match would be amazing. WWE has struggled at telling an interesting story with Nakamura as champion. So if you're not gonna put the tender love and care into telling a good, intricate story, then just give us mayhem. And this is the best available mayhem right now. You could add Andrade here if you want. If you want more names, there's sure other names that you could throw in here to make this a little bit more interesting. But to me, these are the five guys that make the most sense at the moment, hovering around the United States Championship. Now let's look at a bloodline match. I feel like this is one that a lot of people have in their fantasy booking cards. We have Jacob Fatu, I love you, Solo, going up against the guy that he loves so very much in Solo Sikoa. I originally thought there might be a world where they give Jacob Fatu the United States Championship and he goes into WrestleMania to defend the championship against Solo Sikoa. I don't think that's going to be in the cards. I still see Jacob versus Solo happening. I just don't think that it's going to be for anything aside from these guys just start to hate each other in some way, shape, or form. A lot of people have been waiting for the debut of Hikuleo, somebody that's been signed to the WWE for a really long time and has been allegedly listed in the main roster for a really long time. If you're looking for a place to debut Hikuleo, it literally might be in this match to help Solo Sikoa win, probably. Plus, in my opinion, both of these guys deserve a WrestleMania match. Solo Sikoa, as much as he's just not my favorite worker, he's been doing the best work of his career over the past 12 months, and I do believe that it would be a shame if they left him off the card. And obviously, Jacob Fatu is freaking Jacob Fatu. At this point, you could put Jacob Fatu out there there with a blow-up doll, and it would be the greatest match of all time. So let's actually do something interesting here. They've been telling an interesting story, and let's put these guys together in a match at WrestleMania. So now I have to kind of think about the tag titles, and when I look at the landscape of the tag team division, I just don't think that they've been doing a very good job on Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to keep those Raw tag titles out of WrestleMania, but I am going to include the SmackDown ones. I'm going to have DIY versus Pretty Deadly versus Los Garzas versus Motor City Machine Guns versus the Street Profits. And this could be a ladder match. This could be just a multi-person match. Whatever you want to do here, you could do something crazy. You could do the big ladder match for the U.S. title one night, big ass ladder match for the tag titles another night, and I feel like a lot of us would be down for this. What I will say is that these titles deserve to be at WrestleMania. All of these teams have earned that spot at WrestleMania. They've done such a great job at elevating each one of these individual tag teams, making them feel like substantial, important characters, while also showcasing that every single one of these teams is just incredibly good in the ring. All 5 of these teams just tend to have really good chemistry with one another, and if you just give them 15 minutes in a ladder match, they literally might steal the show. I really hope that out of all of the matches that I'm fantasy booking, that they include this one, for God's sake. And last but not least, this is both a grudge match, but this could be where you put the Raw tag titles, kind of depending on how things go on Monday Night Raw over the next several months. I've got legend Rey Mysterio teaming up with Penta El Cero Miedo going up against the New Day. The New Day and Rey Mysterio, the New Day and LWO is the story that's going on. They took out Rey Mysterio. I would assume that Rey is going to come back for WrestleMania to get his revenge on the New Day, and in the process enlist another masked luchador to help him, another Mexican wrestler like he did last year with Andrade, the new shiny toy that WWE has, to help showcase them on a large stage alongside a Hall of Famer in Rey Mysterio. So I could see a world where we do Rey Penta versus the New Day. Depending on how things go, maybe the New Day can go in as tag champions for this? Question mark? Maybe. Tag champions right now are the War Raiders, but they just haven't done a great job on Monday Night Raw to really get that tag team division elevated. But I still like the idea of this tag team match with or without tag titles. It works either way. All right, folks, that's my 18-match WrestleMania match card. You guys let me know in the comment section if you feel like I took a misstep, if you feel like I left somebody out. This is the time for you to go off in the comments. Be respectful about it, though. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Goodbye. Get out of here.